Hello, everybody. It is great to be here one more time today. And my name is Gary Fowler, and I am the CEO, President, Founder of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. And today, my friend Kumar and I are going to announce the premiere edition of our show, Making America Number One. This is the launch edition. So, Kumar, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, this is Kumar. I'm from Silicon Valley, being a serial entrepreneur and working with uh, so many startups and in the tech space, and then always be fascinated about the technology and how to use the technology to make America the number one. That's our core focus, and that's what we're going to talk about: how core technologies can help us grow the economy, defense, every single sector of America. And that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so it's great. So Kumar, so a lot of things happened in the valley in the last couple of months, right? So we went down through, and Donald Trump's now going to be president of the United States as of January. So what's the feeling out there? How are people taking this, and what's the tech community thinking about?
To be honest, this is, I think, one of the biggest radical change, and everyone was waiting for to be. And if you have seen and listened to the top tech community and VCs and startup founders and everyone, especially from the crypto side, that the current administration, which is the Biden administration, it was actually very, very tough. And it's kind of, if you think about it, it was trying to push back the innovation and push, in a sense, pushing back America. That all the innovation was fleeing out of America in crypto, AI, and trying to put regulations around every single aspect of innovation. You cannot like innovate within a boundary. You need to expand yourself. You need to do experiments. And when you do experiments, at that time, you cannot have like everything controlled. That you only do this or that, or you have to have so many red tapes. So that's been going on. So everyone is very excited, and there's an exuberance in the environment, and you can see with the stock market, tech stock, you can see from the cryptos, everything, because everyone is excited about now. There's a whole new regime coming in, which is pro to technology, pro to crypto, pro to, and it's pro to the innovation and how to grow and how to bring innovation back to US, how to make US the number one instead of the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. You look at it, and here we've got this incredible place, Silicon Valley, which is a birthplace of many of the most of the technologies around the world, or those investors or those companies have relocated there. And, for some reason, we were paralyzed for a few years. But now, yeah, you're right. You can feel the spirit of growth, the spirit of change. People like Elon Musk coming in and working directly with Trump. Here you got a guy that's worth what, $442 billion, probably going to be the first trillionaire, trying to get us on the straight path again. Because you're
Yeah.
right. I mean, you think about it. It's quite interesting because these people, a lot of folks that I know in Silicon Valley, had not thought about having a president like Trump. But now the situation is, look at it. Now we've got the stock market moving up. I mean, they're not complaining now. In fact, I got to tell you, the last time I was out in the valley a couple of weeks ago, people were saying how good it feels. They're not complaining. In fact, I said there were people coming out of the woodwork coming to me and saying they're so happy that things change because now it feels like we're on track again, right? And it
Exactly.
really does feel good.
Yeah.
So, so your perspective, how is it, so if you look 2 months ago to now, what, people are more optimistic, but can you feel the venture environment? Is it opening up? Do you feel more people taking money out of their pockets to invest? Are they more optimistic, or what's happening today?
Yeah. So what's happening is the if you look at exactly the way the environment is shifting is towards people are now in a sense, and it has impacted mostly the big of the impact you'll see in the crypto world, because that was the most suppressed sector.
Yeah.
And then AI, of course, had the AI boom, but then there was a lot of regulation coming on the AI side where you have to basically do certain regulations to build the AI applications and all. But it was not there; it was coming. But the crypto sector was like super suppressed because of this administration and then SEC and all those things. And that actually is kind of unleashed in a sense. So you are seeing a lot of retail coming back, and that's why you see the market going up. But that's a whole different conversation. People will talk about there's good and bad. Okay, it's people pump and dump and all those things. But let's keep that aside. The real true thing is about innovation, the blockchain technology, and that was not uh, enabled because of this strong regulations. People didn't have guidance. So what to do? So if you want to build a blockchain technology, not like a meme coin or anything, a true technology which can actually transform and bring efficiency in a lot of financial systems and all, you cannot do that because if you go to SEC to take in guidance, they will not tell you because they don't know what the guidance is. But yes, if you try to do it, you will get a subpoena, and then eventually,
Yeah, so those people didn't want to do it, but what are they thinking now? Are you seeing more
now it's
people interested?
completely changed, and people are started building, and you'll see a lot of exuberant people are building new technologies, and then and if you talk to top VCs, A16Z, and everyone in the valley, they all are now basically promoting a lot of entrepreneurs who've been not able to build and innovate and had to flee out, had to go out of the country to innovate and establish their company outside the more favorable jurisdiction like Middle East and other places. Now they're coming back, and
Yeah,
then
no, you can feel it, can't you?
yeah,
It's like electricity out in the valley now. It's not like before where it was like dead. I was like going to a ghost town for a while. I was out there walking around the streets. I thought, man, this is unbelievable. It's
yeah.
like Death Valley. This isn't like Silicon Valley. Death Valley's away. Now Silicon Valley's back. It's a good feeling. So what's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen over the next 3 to 6 months? Are we going to take off? What's going to happen with it?
Yeah, to be honest, in the next, like, if you look at where the everything is going in next 2 to 3 months, the most innovative and most boost you will see in the crypto sector because that was the most suppressed. So it's obvious you will see a tremendous amount of growth in the AI sector, which is already going, and in the AI sector in all aspects, hardware, software, every single layer, you will see the boom. Hardware in the sense like data centers and chip manufacturing and everything, and then you'll see a tremendous amount of growth in advanced tech. So one of the things which America was, I would say, was great. Actually, not just great, were on the forefront of innovation was on the fundamental technology, fundamental science. So like physics, chemistry, math, correct, on the
Mhm.
foundation of that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we were able to win the Cold War and then went to moon, all those things. And after that, like everything went downhill. And then in the recent
Well,
years,
why did it go down, Kumar?
a lot of thing happened, and you can think about different. If you read history, you'll see that one of the major reason of all this tech innovation was because of the Cold War, because there was a bipolar world at that time. So people were like, we were innovating to compete with someone. After Soviet Union collapsed, that bipolar world went away. Then it was a unipolar world, and then people were in a comfort zone. And when you are in a comfort zone, you don't
Yeah,
innovate. You
you
don't.
get fat, dumb, and happy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we got to get out of the comfort zone, right?
yeah. Now it's a whole different world again. Now from I would say last uh, 5-10 years when China started rising, then you saw that okay, there is uh, an aspect of uni from a unipolar world to bipolar world. So there are two parts of the power shifting, and then Russia and everything started booming up. So now there is a trend where people are, and especially Donald Trump started this Make America Great Again, that now there is a tendency like it's back to the same thing which was during the early days, that how we innovate, how we bring technology to US and how we make America great, that from the foundation of the innovation. So that's why it's a great movement that Elon Musk joined Trump, and then there's a whole uh, suite of people from tech side, and he got a tremendous support from the Valley, which was not in his previous
Yeah,
the
that was
last.
interesting. The
Yeah,
people coming out of the woodwork and supporting, what's going on now. It's interesting to see some of these investors and some people that you normally didn't see come out and say, listen, I'm fully supportive of this. They're right. Because, it's not about having different parties. It's about how do we make America number one,
yeah,
and,
exactly. It's all
it's,
about bringing innovation, supporting innovation, because the only thing which can bring prosperity to a society and a civilization is the technology. And definitely technology is like the one of the most powerful things, so it comes with a huge responsibility, but at the same time you cannot constrain the innovation in a box. Then you will never ever be able to do it. There is a certain way to do this in a more safe environment, and that's what people are doing. And it will, there's a one thing for sure is that every single thing you will do, there's a good and bad side of it, correct?
mhm.
And every innovation has done that. Like, you take it like very simple, from electricity to car to anything, everything has good and bad side.
Yeah,
But that
especially
doesn't
if you get
mean
someone like Thomas Edison competing against you, and he's out using AC to shock animals and show you how powerful it is. It was crazy, actually.
yeah,
The kind of what levels. Here's Nikola Tesla is trying to make the world a better place with free electricity, and Edison's going out there and electrocuting elephants and dogs and everything else to show how evil this stuff. In reality,
exactly.
that helped us to move our society forward. It's just like now with AI. It's just like now with quantum computers, right? It's we can't hold back, or we're going to be, we're going to be looking forward, and we're not going to be the ones in the leadership position. There's going to be somebody else, and it
It
should
is
be
very,
that.
very important. Yeah. To understand that how important the quantum computers are for the next wave of progress for any country. And I think China understand this really, really well, because they have, if you look at the way China has invested in their quantum uh, technology from the last past 10 years, it has exponentially grow their investment in that
Yeah.
foundational technology. They are the first country in the whole world who has a quantum communication network from Shanghai to Beijing, which no one can basically, inter, uh, 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 basically you cannot hack that communication line. They have the communication line, quantum communication line between satellite and ground, which cannot be basically uh, hacked.
Well,
And
that's been yeah, but we better catch up, right?
exactly, yeah. So that is why if we don't move fast and we don't build things faster, then there's it, it's a on a very exponential, the way it's exponential growth is the same as exponential decline, because the technology is moving so fast that the at a proportion at which you will lag from your competition will be an exponential. So there's no question or no doubt that we should double down on all these advanced technologies, and as much as we can support the environment and tech and people who wants to come and innovate on these things,
Yeah.
it's
No,
profound.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, we got to be supportive in all kinds of different ways. And we need, I just saw something today where it was one of the groups in DOD was coming out with some proposals. They're looking for technologies. We got to be supportive like we did before. And the other thing, what do you think about, we talk about immigration, but immigration's a good thing when you have the right people come in.
Yeah, So
So, I mean, we've had a lot of bad people, and now they're talking about, these Venezuelan gangs and everything else. But in reality, that's how America's grown.
yeah, no, absolutely. So immigration is always a good thing, and if you think about, like, if you just see the stats, America is built of a lot of immigrate. The people who immigrated here come and build businesses, build technology, build innovative. So it's one of the core, I would say, pillar of America. But to do that is all these people who have come and innovated and built, they have come in a right legal way, right? It's not that you come in a illegal way. So it's very simple. If you open the door, you don't know who is coming. So everyone is welcome. And at that time, you get the both bad and good people. But
Yeah.
if you have the checks and balances on the gate, then you get the right people who you want, correct? Nobody, if you have your home, it's very simple. Like, if you have your home, do you like open the gate and then let everyone come in? No, correct? So
Not if you know what's good for you. I mean, the thing is, you go down through and you want to have the right people come in. You're right about it. You
yeah,
want to build this, this knowledge. You want to build these capabilities. You want people that have a dream and desire that
yeah,
came over, like my grandparents. My grandmother came over. She's actually Greek, and she came over from Egypt. She was a Greek Egyptian. She came over here with a dream when she was 13 years old. My grandfather came over from Greece, couldn't speak English, came over here and built businesses in the U.S. He had a dream. He didn't come in with a quarter in his pocket,
yeah,
had nothing. And so it means you can do anything if you believe in the dream. And that dream is alive in America, but we all got to take our shot and grab it, together
exactly.
and make the world a better place. Technology is a tool, can be used as a tool for peace too. Let's use this technology. We got to double the food supply by 2050. And we can't increase the number of cattle because 26% of the pollution is methane gas from cows. We're inundated with information. We have infobesity around us. Doesn't matter whether you're a doctor or a farmer. We got to go down through and make sense of this information around us, and using these tools like Gen AI, like multi-agent large language model, like multimodal, like quantum computers and multi-agent LLMs run on top. These are going to change everything.
Absolutely. So let's shift to quickly on the quantum computers. Like recently, yesterday, Google announced the Willow chip, which is a groundbreaking, I would say, in the field of quantum computers, because they have done a fundamentally, uh, they basically did a huge breakthrough about reducing the quantum errors, which basically is getting closer and closer to make uh, a commercial quantum computer available for everyone. So that was huge, huge thing. Uh, but of course, it's still a long way to go, because these are superconductive quantum computers. So you need to be in a very constrained environment. But that doesn't matter, because today you use computers not on your laptop, but it's basically the compute is in the cloud. So all the AI you use is running in the data center in the cloud, and then you're using this. So that's so as long as it still be in the supercomputer in a data center running, it's not a problem. But the biggest problem in the quantum computers are error rates correction. And as you get better and better in the error rate correction, it'll be able to use it more commercial use cases. So that's and this was a very huge breakthrough to basically get into that next step of the
And
direction.
I agree with you. So what's going to happen next? So what's Google going to do? How's Microsoft going to do? Are they going to
Yeah.
catch up? What's going to happen?
So all the large companies, Google, Microsoft, and uh, Amazon, all of them are working on this quantum computers, their own quantum computers. They have their D-Wave is the I would say the pioneer in the field of building the quantum computers, and they all have a different techniques to build the quantum computers. So most of these large companies, which have like all these three companies, AWS, Amazon, and Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, they all are building their chip based on the superconductive quantum computers, which are based on the thermodynamics. You basically bring the chip, the qubits, to the absolute 0 Kelvin, which is the lowest temperature in the entire universe. And then they have specific materials which can basically be in the quantum state. And once they get into the quantum state, that's where they convert into qubits. and then they can act as a qubit, and then you can run computational calculation. But once they are in the qubit and doing the computational calculation, the problem is they can only be in that qubit state for a very, very small fraction of time. That's basically cause the error corrections. So you have to do error correction, improve the error correction so that you can get to a better version of the quantum computers, commercial use of the quantum. And that's what the Google did in this huge, huge breakthrough.
So let's talk about quantum computers. For those people that are looking at the broadcast today that don't know, what is a quantum computer and why is it so much different than a
Yeah,
typical, supercomputer?
actually, that's a good point. So if you so the all the computers today, which is called classical computer in the sense of quantum computers, it seems funny to say them in a classical computer when they can do so many things. The fundamental reason why they're classical computers, they all work on the principle of transistors, which is 0 and 1. That's why it's called bits in a binary system. So, so, in the most fundamental way, if you every single thing which we do today on the computer, like even the streaming which is happening, eventually it goes to and then convert into 0 and 1, and then that's how the computer, the chip, microchip, basically understand this in the 0 and 1 format. And then they use binary system to convert that, eventually process, and then there's a compiler which take that information, process, and then you receive that information. On a very high level, everything is 0 and 1. That's what the classical computer is. So the classical computer has a limitation. The reason why it's 0 and 1, because you can do either, it can only be in two states, 0 and 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you take an example of the quantum computers, the quantum computers harness the quantum mechanics, which is the fundamental of the quantum mechanics is that it's based on the uncertainty principle, Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which basically says that you can identify a particle, their position, but you can't accurately locate where the particle is. So what basically happens is in that, so if a particle is in the quantum state, it can be under two places at the same time, which is very, very bizarre to think about from a human
Wait a minute, it
perspective.
can be in two places at one time.
Yeah, how can it be in two places at one time? So, and that's how the quantum uncertainty principle define it. So it basically stays in the two state. But then, if you harness that property of that element where it can be in two states, then now you get not 0 and 1, but you get 0 and 1, the quantum state where it's in the third place, where it can be in the two places. So that is called qubits. So here is bits, and that is qubit. Now, because of this, it fundamentally changed how you can do the computation. So to give you in a very, very layman term example, take a dictionary, okay? Now you ask a computer, a classical computer, or to find a word in that dictionary. So that no matter what, how fast you bring the computer, like the most fastest supercomputer, they will still do the same way. They will go from word A, B, C, D, one by one, and then they will look, and then they will find the word. So the faster the computer is, it can do this fast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the principle is same. Look for one by one. Same time, when you look for ask the same task for a quantum computer to do that, they can be in all the states at the same time, so they can look for that word at the simultaneously exactly same time for all the words.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason it can, no matter what, how fast you bring a classical computer, it can always surpass that because it can be at at the entire state at the same time, and it can look for that word right away. So fundamentally, they both work on a completely different way. So that's how the quantum computer works. But there is a lot of things related to that because of using the quantum computers. One is the error correction. Once will get better and better, then you will have this one. But it also gives another a layer of the commercial application of the quantum computers, which is now people are using, is in the security. So today, because of what I explained, like how the quantum computer works, once we have a 50 2+ bit quantum computers operating in with a better error correction rate. It can decrypt any uh, uh, encryption which exists today, because the standard encryption is RSA.
Wow, what about Bitcoin and those things, Kumar? Are we gonna have a problem with those?
Uh, I would not comment on that. I have to look into exactly how the Bitcoin.
That's interesting. We should talk about that on our next show, because that's interesting. Because if you take quantum computers and go after the blockchain, for instance, right? Imagine having that capability. You can probably crack just about anything.
Yes, if you have a decent number of qubits quantum computer running, absolutely you can crack any algorithm, any encryption mechanics which works today. Maybe it will take 5 minutes, maybe it takes a day, and maybe it takes 20 days, but it can absolutely crack that no matter what. The only way to not to do able to do that, that's where the post quantum encryption comes in the picture. So now a lot of technology companies and financial organization and all the places where you see mission critical data is, they all are looking into how we can encrypt our information for the post quantum era, where there will be a commercial quantum computers available and hack it and then decrypt anything. So
no, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh, we have a comment here. Hold on. And we have people coming into our episode saying, "Good to see us." That's great.
yeah,
So we're coming up to the top of the show, so from our premiere, but we should go down through in some of these topics, explore them. One of the things we want to talk about next time, Kumar, is quantum computers and vertical markets and what kind of impact they're going to have.
yeah, I think
Also, how do people find the resources to get, resources so they can start looking at quantum computing, because it's not something you can find everywhere. Where do they find them? So as we're going down through this journey, by the way, to all of you out there, we've got an article coming out either the end of this week or the beginning of next week that'll be out, that's going to be talking about quantum computers and AI and, keeping America, making America number one. And that's our whole thing, is how do we keep this incredible country that has a lot of opportunities for all of us moving forward and get it out of the trenches and back on the front of the line again, to be able to make this world a better place, to do the right thing, to make people happy so they can live their lives the best. So any closing thoughts for you, and then we'll close the show.
No, this is very interesting, and I would appreciate everyone to come and join us and come and talk about how we can leverage technology and how we can make America number one. Because I think that technology is the thing which will push us forward, as it has done for the human civilization. It'll be for our country too.
Yeah, let's all work together to make this world a better place. Let's all work together, and we're here to be able to give that a little push. My name's Gary Fowler. Kumar and I have our show. Check it again. We'll be back the next week with another exciting edition. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy, and we'll be back to you again soon. Thank you, everybody.